Wall Street is trading water now, just like they trade gold, just like oil. Why? Because they know a secret. They know that cheap water is over. They are betting that water will run out, and when it does, the price will shoot to the moon. Investors are looking for profit, but you need to understand the risk. This change will hurt your wallet. It will change politics. It will change your daily life. Here is the truth about selling nature. We talk about water like it lasts forever. Rain falls, rivers flow, it starts over. But here is the thing. We aren't living off the rain anymore. We are living off savings. Deep underground savings. This water took thousands of years to build up, and we are draining it. Every year the world loses a massive amount of fresh water. Imagine a swimming pool the size of a city. Now imagine thousands of them. Gone. That is enough water for 280 million people. Just vanished. Since 2015, the stress on our water systems has jumped. Places like Northern Africa are already in the danger zone. But this isn't just about nature. This is about money. For 100 years, we treated water like it was free. We thought it was a gift with no price tag. We built our farms on that lie. We built our cities on it. Now, the bill is due. We are looking at a total collapse. First, the water runs out underground. Second, the price of your food spikes. Third, countries start fighting over what is left. Let's look at where it starts. Deep underground. Think of underground water like a savings account. For thousands of years, rain and snow melted. It slowly trickled down through the dirt. It filled up giant tanks of water under our feet. These are called aquifers. They were supposed to be our backup plan, our emergency fund for when it doesn't rain. But we messed up. We turned our savings account into our checking account. We spend it every day. Water levels are dropping fast. It is happening in 30% of the underground tanks worldwide. And it is not a slow leak. It is speeding up. Here is why that matters to you. When a river dries up, you see it. It makes the news. But underground? It is invisible. You don't know there is a problem until you turn on the tap and nothing comes out. By then, it is too late. Look at the US Midwest or India. Farmers are drilling deeper every single year. They are chasing water that keeps running away. It costs more money to pump that water up. Wells that worked 10 years ago? Useless today. The water is still there, but it is hundreds of feet deeper, and eventually you hit solid rock. Here is the part most people don't get. You might think, won't rain fill it back up? It does for rivers. But deep underground? No. That takes thousands of years. We are not using water. We are mining it, like coal or oil. Once it is gone, at least for us. Why do we do this? To grow crops in the desert, cotton, sugar, corn. We grow thirsty plants in dry places because the water was cheap, because we could. Now the supply is shrinking, but demand is exploding. More people, more food, more factories. And in economics, when supply drops and demand rises, you get one thing, an explosion. So the underground water is disappearing. But what does that mean for you? It means your grocery bill is about to go up, permanently. By 2030, we will need 40% more water than we have. That puts trillions of dollars at risk. Let's make this real. Last year, coffee prices doubled. Cocoa, up 160%. Sunflower oil, way up. The reason? Drought. The places that grow these crops are drying out. Economists have a name for this. Greenflation. This isn't the government printing too much money. This isn't a shipping problem. This is the planet saying no. And here is the uncomfortable truth. The banks can't fix this. You can't print more rain. Interest rates don't fill reservoirs. Look at olive oil in Europe. Drought left the tanks empty. Trees that lived for huge amounts of time died. Farmers needed bailouts. You had to pay luxury prices for basic cooking oil. This wasn't a one-time thing. This is the new normal. Experts are warning us. Bad weather will make food expensive every single year, not as a surprise, but as a rule, because the cheap water that made food cheap, it's running out. Think about this. Half of the world's food production is at risk. Half. If we don't fix this in 25 years, the system fails. If we stop pumping the underground water to save it, food prices go up. If we keep pumping, we run out completely. Either way, 26 million more people could go hungry. So when you see high prices at the store, don't just blame greed. It is the sound of the system breaking. It is the market finally charging us for the water we wasted. High prices hurt, but when people can't afford to eat or when the water stops, they don't just go hungry, they move. Water doesn't usually start wars alone, but it breaks countries. Water problems are causing people to move. When farms fail, people flood into cities. Cities get full, services break, people get angry, and in weak countries, things explode. Let's talk about Syria. Before the war, they had a historic drought. Groundwater ran out. Over 1 million people lost their jobs. They moved to the cities. The government couldn't handle it. The drought didn't cause the war, but it lit the match. This is happening everywhere. In Africa, people are fighting over land and water. In the Middle East, rivers cross borders. Countries don't want to share. Water shortages and political chaos go hand in hand. Here is the thing about water. It is a threat multiplier. That means it takes bad things and makes them worse. Poverty, corruption, anger. Add a water shortage, and it all falls apart. A country might survive a bad economy, but it can't survive if its people are thirsty. And this crisis spreads. When the countryside dries up, people move to cities. When cities fail, they move to other countries. The border crisis in the US, the refugee crisis in Europe. These aren't just about war, they are about water failure. We think climate refugees are a thing for the future. Wrong. It is happening now. The map of the world is being redrawn by the water table. Stable nations are shaking. So the question isn't, will water change politics? It already has. The question is, how many countries have to break before we wake up? But wait, wherever there is chaos, someone is looking to make a buck. Enter Wall Street. In 2020, California did something new. They created the first water futures contract. For the first time, investors could bet on the price of water, just like they bet on oil. Wall Street discovered water. The logic seems simple. Water is scarce, demand is up, prices go up. So why not create a market? Let money flow to where it is needed. But here is the problem. Water is not oil. You can live without oil. You can walk. You can ride a bike. You cannot live without water. When you turn a basic need into a stock, you play a dangerous game. Critics say this rewards bad behavior. We should be saving water. But the market wants us to gamble on it. If I own water rights and I know prices are going up, why sell now? I will wait. I will hoard it. And while I wait, people go thirsty. US lawmakers are worried. They proposed the Future of Water Act. They want to ban trading water like a casino chip. They are afraid of fake price spikes, not because water is gone, but because Wall Street is playing games. It isn't just betting. Big investment firms are buying land, not for the dirt, for the water rights. Water is now an asset class. It is just another line on a spreadsheet. So we are at a weird point. If water is free, people waste it. That is true. Pricing it correctly could help us save it. But if we treat water like gold, if we trade it and hoard it, who owns the rain? We think water is a human right. But in this new economy, water is a private asset. If you can't pay the market price, you don't get the flow. And that brings us to the final, ugly truth. This pain will not be shared equally. Here is how water inequality works. When a city needs to fix pipes or find water, they raise the price. That sounds fair, but higher bills hit poor families the hardest. A rich suburb can keep its lawns green during a drought. They pay the higher bill. They don't care. Maybe they drill a private well. For them, a water shortage is just an annoyance. But for a poor rural town, it is a disaster. The well drops. The tap water turns brown from farm runoff. They have no money to fix it. People get sick. Property values crash. People leave. The UN was very clear in their 2024 report. Poor communities get hit first and hardest. Water does not flow toward need. It flows toward money. Big companies can protect themselves. They can move their factories. They can buy contracts to lock in cheap prices. Local people, they don't have options. They are stuck with the dry well and the empty crop. This creates a nasty cycle. No water means people move. They move to cities that are already stressed. Costs go up. The poor get squeezed again. Anger rises. We think everyone in a drought suffers the same. They don't. In a crisis, the rich pay for trucks and filters. The poor pay with their health. So when we talk about the water crisis, it's not just about running out. It is about who gets the last drops. It is about a system where life belongs to the highest bidder. So is this inevitable? Are we doomed? No. We are at a fork in the road. We can keep draining the earth until it breaks. Or we can build our way out. The solutions aren't science fiction. They are happening right now. Look at Israel. They live in a desert. They should be dry. But they actually have a surplus of water. How? Desalination. They turn the Mediterranean Sea into tap water. For decades, critics said it was too expensive. It took too much energy. But with the cost of solar energy crashing, desalination is becoming the new normal. We have an ocean of water. We just need the energy to unlock it. Then look at the Netherlands, a tiny country. Yet they are the second biggest food exporter in the world. They didn't do it by digging more wells. They did it by looking up. Vertical farming. By growing food indoors, they use 90% less water than traditional farms. No evaporation, no runoff. Every drop is recycled. And finally, look at Singapore. They don't have aquifers, so they did the unthinkable. They recycle their sewage. They clean it until it is purer than what comes out of a mountain spring. They call it NE water. It sounds gross. But in a world running dry, it is genius. It is a closed loop. The technology exists. We don't need a miracle. We need a mindset shift. We need to stop flooding deserts to grow cheap cotton. We need to stop treating water like a waste product and start treating it like the asset it is. The era of cheap water is over. That is true. But the era of smart water, it is just beginning. Do you think we will adapt in time, or will we wait until the tap runs dry? Let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe to keep up with a changing world.